We now go over to Lokoja, the state capital of Kogi State, where the governor-elect, Captain Idris Wada, is standing by to talk to us now. Captain Wada, we want to say a big congratulations. Tell us how you feel now that you've been elected governor of Kogi State.
Thank you very much, DJ. I feel good. I give thanks to the Almighty God. I'm very happy, and everyone around me is very happy for what we have achieved today by the grace of God.
A few weeks ago, you were relatively unknown in the state, and now you're governor-elect. This must be surprising even to you as well, is it?
No, I was not relatively unknown. I'm a true son of Kogi State. I've achieved a lot in life, a pioneer in the aviation industry in Nigeria, in the private sector of the aviation industry in Nigeria. I've done a lot of things in my life to the benefit of humanity, so I am known. It's politically, you could say I was not widely known, but of course we ran a very purposeful and issue-focused campaign, and I believe that over the last few months my candidacy was well sold, and the reflection of what we have today is the effect of the way my candidacy was presented to the people of Kogi State.
You are now the governor-elect of Kogi State. April 5th, 2012, you will be sworn in as governor. What do you think are the challenges before you now?
Challenges of development, of transformation, of making Kogi State one of the reference states in Nigeria. Of course, our vision is that at the end of our tenure, by the grace of God, Kogi will rank among one of the first 10 states in Nigeria.
Tell us now, in terms of education, I know I have spoken with you about this in the past, but of course, millions of people in Kogi State will be watching you now. They want to hear, of course, you've told them quite a lot on the campaign trail, but in terms of education and agriculture, of course, which you identified in previous interviews as one of the issues you'll be tackling. Tell us what exactly you'll be doing and what the people should be expecting from you.
Well, for education, we see education as a foundation of development. So we are going to focus on qualitative education, intense supervision of teachers, training and retraining of teachers, equipping of schools, libraries, laboratories, adequate funding of education, and adequate supervision. Also, vocational education, because some of the young people we have now who graduate out of school are unable to do things for themselves. They wait on government for jobs or companies. We have very few companies in the state that employ a sizable number of people. But when we introduce or intensify vocational education, we expect that our young men and women, when they come out of school, will be able to do things for themselves if they don't find jobs in the public service or private sector immediately. So, the pass rate we have for WAEC and NECO now is unsatisfactory. And with the intensity of supervision, which we'll pursue, with improvement in the quality of teachers, we pay the teachers regularly and properly, focus on the welfare of teachers so that they can focus on their jobs. You will see a turnaround or a marked improvement in the quality of education in Kogi State. And then on agriculture, we intend to introduce mechanized agriculture at a small and medium scale level. We'll tap into the value chain driven agricultural policy being promoted by the central bank, finance agriculture properly, and in a couple of years you should see a dramatic improvement in the income level of our farmers. We'll make farming a respectable profession in Kogi State. So that's what we'll do on those two things.
Okay, I have to ask you this. Do not forget the process that brought you into becoming the governorship candidate of the PDP in the first place was somewhat controversial, and up till this moment as we speak, some members of your party still have a case in court against your candidate, your candidature, even though you've emerged the governor-elect of the state. What would you be doing now to reconcile these divided interests in the party?
I'll be reaching out. The party at the national level, the leadership of the party is reaching out. Leadership of our party at the state level is reaching out. Personally, I'm reaching out. And I believe, a party is like a family. You have issues. And if you work at them, you end up resolving them. So I believe over time, we'll resolve these issues. Also, I intend to run an open, transparent, inclusive administration. So any of those fellows who are aggrieved, I urge them to come back into the fold. Let's put our ideas together, our intellect together, and whatever we have together. Let's try and move Kogi State forward. We have to put the primaries behind us now. By the grace of God, I am the candidate. Yomi is my partner, is my running mate. Give us a chance to move Kogi State forward, and we'll do it together with any one of them who is willing. I mean, last week, Mr. President called us together to bury the hatchet, move forward, put the interests of the party ahead of our individual interests. So I appeal to them to do that. Let's move Kogi State forward. That should be the focus now, not candidacy.
All right, but I still have to ask you this question. I would want you to react to, the allegations by the ACN saying the election that you've just won was fraught with irregularities, and apart from that, that it is rejecting the result outrightly.
That is within their rights as a political party. They are free to criticize the process or the election, but to the best of my knowledge, this is one of the most free, fair, and transparent elections we've had in Nigeria for a very long time. I went to my polling booth. There was a large turnout of people. They were all excited at seeing me. I went through the process. There was no violence. It was free, fair, and transparent. There were live cameras there to show the process. Of course, there is no perfect election anywhere in the world. You have one or two pockets of maybe late arrival of material or staffing and stuff like that. But in terms of violence, generally, this was a free, fair, and transparent process. If ACN complains, there is a process of addressing complaints arising from an election. Let's go through that. For me, it was free, fair, and transparent generally all over Kogi State yesterday.
And because you talked about turnout, I have to ask you this question. You take a look at the total number of registered voters in Kogi State. There are over 1 million, but at the end of the day, just 518,994 actually voted in this election. And so people would say, well, the turnout was low somehow. Does that bother you at all?
No, Deji, look, all over the world, turnout for elections is 25-30%. This particular election, we had, about 500,000 people. So I think it's a fairly good turnout, and we need to educate people to understand that this is their chance to change the direction of development, direction of governance. And over time, as people see that processes are fair, they are transparent, their votes count, you will see that the turnouts will improve. Now don't forget, the literacy level in our country is not that high. So, I think this is a good performance on the part of INEC. I think the percentage that came out to me is within the global range, and it's good enough for me.
What exactly would you be saying to those who stood against you in this election? I mean, your opponents. What would you be saying to them at this time?
My message to them is to put Kogi State ahead of our individual interests. Let them come together. Let's rally together. Let's work together to move our state forward. Only one person can be governor of the state at a time. And leadership comes from the Almighty God, the grace of the Almighty God. We need to just accept that, rally around whoever emerges through the kind of process we have gone through now and move the state forward. So I urge them to come in. We will run an open, transparent, collective administration. I welcome any of them with good ideas for moving Kogi State forward to come join us, join hands together, and let's move our state to the next level.
All right, Mr. Governor-elect, thank you very much for joining us on the program, and we wish you all the best.
Governor-elect, that sounds good. Thank you very much.